really do appreciate that you are rolling your mat out at home even while I'm away, so that we can keep going with our beautiful consistent practice. So the more we practice, the more benefits we reap from our practice. So it's all good stuff. So today we've got something that's going to be fully mat based. So something for everyone who is not weight bearing at the moment. So we're not going to be on wrists, we're not going to be on feet. So we're going to be on our backs or on our tummies. So please hop into something comfy, and I'll see you down here whenever you're ready. Alrighty, my gorgeous friends. So finding a comfy seat, first of all. So moving the fleshy parts, the cook sister parts. Look it up if you don't know what a cook sister is. If I could bring some back, I would. But yeah, guaranteed to clog the arteries. However, sitting up nice and tall, so sitting up on a blanket or on a towel if you need a little bit of lift. If you want to have the legs out, by all means, go for that option. We won't be here for very long. So just whatever rocks your boat in terms of sitting on your butt. So gently bring the palms together at the heart. Sitting up nice and tall. Close the eyes if that feels okay. And if it doesn't, just a nice soft gaze. There are some days where it feels great, other days where you're like, not so much. And everything is cool. I think that's my mantra for today. Everything is cool. Hakuna Matata. Sitting up nice and tall, bring the palms together at the heart. And just take a moment to breathe. That's all I want you to do. This is going to be a nice short practice. Getting into the belly a little bit, getting into the hips, stretching out through the legs. Just a kind of a nice full body, top to toe stretch, lying down. So a couple of moments to breathe. Breathing down into the belly. Notice if the shoulders are reaching up towards the ears. Let them go. So you can hear the birds. They're the hardy-does. Very much the soundtrack to my holiday. Just like being at home. Couple of nice deep breaths here. Take a moment to smile. I don't know if I've ever invited you to do that before. Lift the corners of the mouth. Notice how it makes you feel. Can you perhaps shift anything that you've been fighting with through your day or through your week? Maybe you can change your mood up a little bit. Maybe it's hard to smile today. There are those days as well, and I totally get that. It's easy for me, I'm on holidays, but just take a smile, see how it makes you feel. Take one more juicy big breath in. As you exhale, gently draw the forehead down to the fingertips, chin to chest. Keep the spine nice and lifted here, so the only thing that we're moving is the head and the neck. Don't decide where this stops. Allow the head to get super heavy. Maybe the forehead is reaching down a little more towards the fingertips. Use your breath. Breathe into the neck spine. Breathing into the base of the skull. Breathing out, allow that forehead to be super heavy. Taking a moment here. And just ask for anything that you might possibly need today. Did something come up? Would something make your life a little easier? Maybe a little lighter? If something immediately comes to the forefront of your mind, just take a moment here to ask, to be clear, to be intentional about what it is that you need in your life. And then whenever you're ready, slowly, slowly take your time, lifting the head all the way back up on top of the shoulders. And when you're ready, just flicking open the eyes. Big breath in. Big breath out. Awesome. From here, just take the soles of the feet together, coming into our butterfly pose. And just making up your mind where those feet need to be. Could be a little much for the hips to come straight into butterfly, straight off the bat. So send those heels a little further away from the body. If you feel like you've got a little more space, by all means, start to walk them in. So wherever you land in your body, in your practice, on the mat, whichever room of your house you're practicing in, maybe you're outdoors and that would be cool. Wherever you are, just settling in, get nice and heavy through the sit bones. Get nice and soft through the groins. So the key to getting these knees to come down a little further not only lies in the adductor muscles, but in the groins themselves. So if you feel like you can relax a little through the pelvis, perhaps the knees will naturally follow suit. Sitting up nice and tall, just taking a moment here to externally rotate through the hip joints. Breathing deeply, send it all the way down to the base of our spine. So getting into the pelvis here, sending that breath, that awareness down to our Mula Bandha, our root lock or wheel. So thinking of our bandhas here, our Mula Bandha is our root lock, which is really our pelvic floor muscle. So if we think about lifting up a little through our internal scaffolding, that pelvic floor reaches all the way up, connecting to our Uddiyana Bandha, so drawing the belly button in and up our solar plexus, and drawing that energy all the way up, pelvic floor, Uddiyana Bandha, Jalandhara Bandha, our chin lock. So drawing the chin ever so slightly to lengthen through the back of the neck. It's just kind of stacking this beautiful internal alignment where we feel beautifully poised, postured, aligned. Head over heart over pelvis is another way to sort of try and just reach those landmarks, connect the dots, if you will, from crown to tail. Take one more nice big breath in, long smooth breath out, and then just bring the hands back down behind the hips here. Just draw that right knee over to the left. So we do this one lying down, we're doing it seated, why not? And you could just stay here if you wanted to. Otherwise, think about drawing this femur bone back into the hip socket. We were doing this a couple of weeks ago on the deck, so you might remember just that little tug back through that right hip here, and it really just encourages a little lift of the pelvic floor, a little lift of the front of the body. Shoulders down away from the ears. Little internal rotation through that right hip, and then take the legs out nice and wide, over to the other side. Again, stay here if you want to. Otherwise, see what happens if you gently draw that femur bone back into that left hip socket. Noticing any differences between the two sides. I had one that felt a little more locked up than the other one. Just one more deep breath in. Long breath out. And then from here, we're going to just roll over to the one side and make our way onto the butt here. So sending the fingertips back behind, we're just going to press into our heels here to lift the hips all the way up, coming into a tabletop position. So lifting the pelvis, lift the hips, come all the way up into your tabletop. You can slowly roll the soles of the feet back down onto the mat. Spread the toes nice and wide here. Fingertips are spread nice and wide. Either looking up towards the ceiling. If you're feeling super loose through the neck, feel free to drop the head back a little bit if that feels okay. Big breath in. Long breath out. Start to lift the head chin to chest. Start to bring the hips down towards the heels here. Lower the butt all the way down onto the mat. And then slowly make your way down onto your back. Ooh, yeah. The sweet descent of coming all the way down onto your back. Okay, same thing. Same but different. Heels are kicking in towards the butt here so that you can reach down and just tickle the backs of the heels. I think like we did through our back bend practice, little baby bridge to start. Press into the feet here. Again, fingers are spread nice and wide here for a little support. Break it down, tilt the tailbone, send the knees, shin bones forward, lift the hips. Slowly, slowly, nice little baby bridge. Take a big breath in, big breath out, slowly rolling the spine back down onto the mat. 2 more times, just like that. So just slowly tucking the tailbone under so you feel this scoop of the belly as the pelvis tilts, lifting the lower back, middle back, upper back as you lift the hips all the way up. Puffing out the chest here, feeling the ribs expand with the inhale, slowly sinking back down, bone by bone. So imagine that that spine is like a bicycle chain and you're descending back down onto the mat, link by link. One more time, pressing into the feet here, lift the hips, nice and high, maybe coming a little bit higher. Breathing it in, lift the sternum to the chin, lift the chin away from the sternum, and roll that bicycle chain slowly back down onto the mat. Awesome. Take the right ankle over the left knee. Take a moment, draw the knee away from the body, nice and flex through this right foot here as well. And then if you wanted a little more, I'm thinking most of you probably would, you can bring that left knee all the way up and into the chest. If it's not accessible to grab hold of the back of the thigh, using a strap, if you don't have one of those, tie, tea towel, what else? Dressing gown belt, something there. Otherwise, you can just free fall it. Go free range, go rogue. So feel free just to have that knee coming up and into the chest without feeling like you have to connect to the leg at all. If you wanted to for a little support, by all means take hold of the back of the leg, but allow the shoulders to get really heavy. So sometimes we're kind of like crouching up like this, and I just want you to be relaxed down onto the mat. If you feel like you've got even more space, feel free to take hold of the front of the shin. Nice and active through both feet here. You can do some circles with the feet, getting into the ankles, point and flex, or spread the fingers, toes, nice and wide. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to extend that left leg up towards the ceiling. Pointing and flexing a couple of times. Okay, release the hands from behind the leg if you've taken that choice. And either hands can come down next to you here, or you can take the edges of your mat for a little bit of support. Keep those keep the left heel pressing away from you as you slowly lower down towards the mat. So keeping the lower back really heavy here and connected down to the mat. Lower ribs, or back ribs rather, are super heavy here. If you feel the lower back starting to lift off, either find a little bit more support, hug it down, or that'll be your zone, and this will be where you stop and then bring that leg back up. So we're just going to move down here. If it feels okay, come all the way down and then all the way up. Just a couple each side. Open through the chest, relaxing through the shoulders. Just a few up and down. Awesome. We'll just take one more. And then lifting that left leg all the way up, bend through the knee, bring that left foot back down onto the mat, keep the right ankle crossing over, and then knees will head over to the left-hand side. A little bit of a twist. If you wanted to, just to take this somewhere else, you can start to walk that left foot up towards the right butt cheek, and maybe you can find the toes here with that right hand. Don't feel like you have to. Just a little bit of a, oh, what happens if I do this kind of reaction. Left hand can come out nice and wide here to open up through the chest. Head in the hand, such a nice option. Just to have a little moment here. Get a little stretch out through the hips. Breathing deeply. You might feel this through the left hip flexor, maybe across the right hip. Maybe there's not a lot of sensation going on here, but that's fine. Sometimes it's not about the big pretzel, massive experiences through the body, but rather just those gentle, consistent moving of the muscles, the joints, getting the blood circulating. So just keeping all your body parts moving. So it's not necessarily, needing to feel this massive shift, change experience, but rather just, that feels interesting. And then when you're ready, unravel, slowly bring yourself all the way back up through center. Taking this right leg off the left, tuck it underneath the bridge there of the left knee, and allow that right knee to drop down towards the mat. So opening up through the right hip flexors here. And again, you might feel this time like walking that right foot up to meet the left hand. But again, don't worry if it doesn't reach. We'll just see how we go here. Ooh, and this could be enough. If you wanted a little more, see about bringing that left knee into the chest, take hold with the right hand. So nice and active through this left foot here. Again, take the opportunity to roll the foot a couple of times, maybe spread the toes nice and wide. You know how I feel about feet. Keep them moving. Just checking it out. Draw that knee a little closer in towards the chest. This might increase your experience through that right hip flexor. Just see how you go. Take one more deep breath in. And then a nice long breath out here. Left foot comes down. Bring that right knee up. And just a little windscreen wiper from side to side. Resetting. And then whenever you're ready, same deal, second side. Let's take that left ankle over the right knee. Press the knee away here. A little bit of an opening through that left hip, and then our supine pigeon or our figure of four. You might have heard it called one of those names. Thread the needle, also an option. I like supine pigeon, but anyway, Tommy, take it away with your noises. Otherwise, bring that right knee into the chest, taking hold of the back of the thigh, front of the shin, or not at all. Also, fab option. Take one more deep breath in here. See if we've got a little more space in that left hip joint. Send the breath all the way down. Excuse my really dirty feet, African feet. Big breath in, long breath out, relaxing through the upper body. And then we'll send those right toes up towards the ceiling here. Hands will come away down by your sides for a little support. And then we'll slowly lower down. Again, hug the torso, hug everything down to the mat here for support through the lower back. And find your zone. You know, who cares if you're working here? The fact that the leg is extended is pretty awesome by itself. If you need to work completely upright, then just take that option, but keep the lower back nice and safe. We're working to strengthen our transverse abdominals here. So just making any choices with that right leg. And maybe today you've already been for a run, you've swum a couple of Ks, you have done a massive bike ride. You guys are very impressive with the exercise that you do. So, you know, take it easy. If today is just about lying on the mat and getting a nice juicy full body stretch, you might even just want to sort of hang out here. And that's awesome too. I just appreciate that you rolled out your mat in the first place. So just a couple more, up and down. Keep the breath going. Whether it's inhaling on the way up or on the way down, I don't mind. As long as you're breathing. Ooh, let's just take one more for luck. And then when you're ready, bend through the knee, sole of the foot comes down. And let's take that option of our twist. So knees will come over towards the right here. Slowly bring that left foot up to, no, the right foot up towards the left butt cheek. And then maybe taking hold with that left hand. If that's available to you, don't worry if it's not. And then open this right arm out. Take a load off, take up space. Both physically and energetically. Breathing deeply here. Take the head in the hand, if that feels good. Taking this opportunity just to breathe. Just trying to stay connected with what's happening on the mat here. So breathe in. Check out all those places that are in contact with the mat. And then as you breathe out, see if you can melt a little deeper in. Awesome, big breath in. Nice long breath out. On your next inhale, let's bring those knees back up through center. And we'll take this left shin away, threaded under the bridge there of the right foot. Again, you might want to walk this left foot up towards the right hip, maybe reaching down with your right hand. Just seeing how you go. This left knee is going to lie nice and flat. Don't worry if it's coming up here a little bit like this. Slowly, in time, again, consistency. That's how we sort of notice our little progress, our moving forward in our body. We're sort of starting to open it up. So some days it might be up like this, some days it might be flat on the ground. And really it doesn't matter either way. It's all a bit of a learning curve, isn't it? So right knee comes up and into the chest. Squeezing it all the way in if that feels okay. One more deep breath in. Nice long breath out. And then when you're ready, slowly bring that left foot down. Nope, right foot down onto the mat, you know what I mean. And then bring that left knee up. Little windscreen wiper here, side to side. Awesome. Both knees are going to come up and into the chest. Lift the tailbone here, tuck it under so the lower back is nice and long, nice and connected to the mat here. Nice big hug and a squeeze. Take the knees out nice and wide, thinking of an inverted child's pose. So knees come out towards the armpits here, nice big hug and a squeeze. Awesome. From here, peel the head and chest off the mat here, tuck the nose up in towards the knees. Nice big hug and a squeeze. On your next inhale breath, open it up. Send the legs out nice and long, send the arms out, and then tuck it back in. Nice, tighten like a ball. Inhale to open, and then tuck yourself back into that ball. Squeeze the air out of the lungs. One more time. Inhale, breath, open up. Exhale, rounding through, nice big hug and a squeeze. We're going to leave our right knee into the chest and extend that left leg nice and long. Big squeeze here, keep the heel lifted off the mat, and we're just going to swap sides. So just move a little side to side, squeeze it in. Exhale as it comes in. The inhale will naturally follow. Just think about bringing the knee in and exhaling the breath out of the lungs. So just a little side to side here. See if we can come right up onto the tips of those shoulder blades. Awesomeness. Just for 3 and 2 and 1. Fab. Bring the left knee in. Awesome. Okay, using our belly muscles here, take hold of the backs of the thighs. Belly, 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 belly. Oh, belly. And coming up into our boat pose. Nice. Think about opening up the collarbones here. Shoulders come back behind you. So feel free to bring the toes to the floor if that's the best option for you today. Otherwise, we're lifting the shins off the mat here. Maybe extending the arms out here as well. This is our last little ditty before we come down onto the mat again. So make it a good one. Hug the belly here, squeeze it in. Awesome. From here, maybe peel the right hand all the way back. Maybe back behind you to open up. Oh, it's not as easy as it looks. Maybe straighten the legs. That could be a little easier. Oh, got the wobbles. Okay, slowly come back through center. Over to the other side. Keep the knees bent here or straighten them out if you wanted to. Don't worry if you got the wobbles, just like me. Slowly come back through center, keeping it real. Big breath in and then big breath out. We're going to lower all the way down. So I want you to take your time. Nice and slowly. Those places where you want to speed it up, see if you can keep it nice and long. Nice and slow. As you lower all the way down, send the arms up and overhead. Big stretch. Big breath into the belly. And a nice long breath out. Bring the hands back down by your sides for Shavasana. So taking the feet out a little wider apart. Maybe walking the shoulder blades a little under the body to lift up through the heart space. Palms facing up or palms facing down. Palms resting somewhere on the body. Just whatever you feel like you need. And as always, if you've got the time, please take it. Permission to lie down in whatever part of your day you might be practicing. Permission just to stop, to pause, to breathe, to be. I encourage you to be the best you that you can possibly be. There is only one you, and there never will be another you. So from my heart to yours, with so much love and gratitude, namaste.